Sports on Tap Detroit, brought to you by the Realtors of the Joe Wright Group, Jason Stiltner of Flagstar Bank, Baldman Entertainment.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
We are tonight's entertainment.
We're here to fuck shit up.
Sports the way it should be. Nothing sugar-coated, we loaded with all the information you wanted. From legends to prospects, nothing's off limits. Chris and Joe be taking on all topics with no stopping. They keep it going and ball hopping at a rate that's hard stopping. With news and straws dropping, they getting it in. Sports Center competition, man, they in it to win. This ain't a fluke, from Carolina to Duke, from MSU to Michigan. You'll know if you listening, if you ain't, you missing it. All the excitement, they shock like a thundercloud and ride with lightning. Get it together, you know ain't nobody better. Bring heat than cold weather. You better put on a sweater, you better just let it go when all coming attack. Sit back, relax, let's tell them it's on tap.
We'll do it live. Fuck it.
It's like watching a bunch of retards trying to fuck a doorknob.
And with that, welcome to Sports on Tap Detroit, episode 122. I'm Chris Scott, alongside Joe Adell and Frank Gigotta. Gentlemen, how are we?
And Seth Rollins.
And Cesar Rollins.
Honestly, Joe, that was the perfect drop to bring in the show because I'm just going to get right into.
I figured it would help you out.
Oh, yes, because I before we get to the NFL stuff, I want to talk about. I'm going to say it. I think it is the most egregiously bad coaching decision I think I've ever fucking seen. What happened in Miami, Florida on Saturday night. So, set up the situation. Miami plays like shit the entire game. Somehow, they find a way back to take the lead. They're driving. There's 33 seconds left on the clock. It's third and 6, I believe. Georgia Tech has no timeouts. Any logical coach would say, hey, let's just kneel it here, run out the clock, game over.
Yep. Take a knee. It's called the victory formation for a reason.
Yes.
Right?
Correct. Yep. But no. Mario Cristobal says, I got a better idea.
Smartest guy in the room.
We're not going to do that. We're going to run the ball. Okay. And while watching this, and I was at Joe's house watching this, and we were just kind of like, both kind of going, is this really happening? We're just kind of looking at each other going, what the fuck is he doing?
Yeah, I think when it happened, I was so
I'm still in disbelief by it.
I was just so thrown off by what was happening that
yes.
I think I looked at you with a blank look on my face. I probably looked like I just saw a ghost, and I was like, Did that just happen?
So anyways, they run this play. The running back fumbles, and for those of you watching or not watching, I put up air quotes because it gets reviewed. Shows he's clearly down. His elbow's down. His face mask is down. Ball's still in his arms. He's not even losing control of it. They review this. Say no. Call on the field stance. Okay. It's complete bullshit, but okay. You should be able to close this game out. If giving up nothing less than a field goal, right? And they tie it. They go to overtime.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Shitty, but it happens. But no, that's not the best part about this. Georgia Tech runs a play. The quarterback escapes the pocket, runs out, and what does one of the secondary guys from Miami decide to do? He tries to jump the route, and the running back runs right past him. Clear, nobody within 10 yards of him. Quarterback finds him.
And I don't know what he was jumping either because it's not even like the quarterback made a fake throw or anything. He just he took off full sprint to jump this route. When the route didn't even look like it was taking place where he thought it was.
Right. So the quarterback finds a wide receiver without anybody within 10 yards of him, throws the ball, guy's running end zone, scores, touchdown, Georgia Tech takes the lead.
Oh, no! We suck again!
Now, there's another thing in this that he starts to slide at about the 1 yard line. And apparently in college football, if you do that, you are considered down. Which I just found this out today.
I believe it's the same as quarterbacks in the NFL now.
Exactly,
where they start their slide is where
Yes.
they're down. Same as where they start to dive is where they're down.
So, with that being said, if he is considered down there,
where he starts
to slide, the officials get the ball, and as soon as that ball is set, that clock starts running.
Clock starts running.
So Georgia Tech would have had no time to run another play. There was like 2 seconds left on the clock when he scored this touchdown.
Motherfucker.
Yes. Now, as pissed off as I am about the officiating, because it was just egregiously bad, I'm not blaming that for the loss. Did it help? No. I'm not going to blame that. I'm going to flat out blame Mario Cristobal. Like, dude, you stole a victory from
your own team.
You stole defeat from the jaws of victory. As shitty as your team played, they nutted up and they took the lead. They had a chance to win. You stole that from those kids.
And then put his running back in the
worst. That was the OC that did.
No, I know, but he put his running back.
Yeah.
He put his running back in such a bad spot right there.
Yes.
You don't do that. But then, like you said, he finally owned up to it, said it was dumb, it was a bonehead, whatever it was. But then the OC, what did the OC say?
The OC says yes, it was a dumb play call on my part. We should have just kneeled it. But you got to have 2 hands on the ball. If you look at the picture, you dumb fuck, he did have 2 hands on the ball.
He did. And as the offensive coordinator of a team that just made the worst fucking play call in the history of college football, or maybe any football.
Yes.
There should be no but to that statement.
No, just leave it at
it was dumb. We should have knelt the ball down.
And just shut up.
There's no but.
Stop.
Don't throw your running back underneath the bus. Like literally you threw the running back underneath the bus and then you said, "Hold on. I'm going to go get behind the wheel." And I'm going to drive it over you a couple times too.
Yes.
Like that's ridiculous.
It was, and for as much as we've talked about horrendous coaching decisions, and it's a weekly thing now because there's horrendous coaching decisions every week. This one to me takes the cake.
I believe it does for me too. This was one of those where like we talk about bad coaching decisions, right? And you can second guess a lot of coaching decisions, but at least in other coaching decisions that you question, there's an actual decision to be made.
Yeah, there is.
In this one, there should have been no decision.
No. Like
it's plain and simple.
Doing anything but kneeling on the ball didn't help you.
Nothing.
It did not help you. Like that was the only decision to be made was to kneel on the ball.
That's it.
Not like a 4th and 1. Hey, like Josh McDaniels did last night. 4th and 1, we can go for it, end this game right now, or try a 50-some-odd yard field goal
and miss it.
Like that's a choice.
That's a choice,
and that's a legitimate choice.
It's a legitimate choice. It's a bad
choice, but it's a legitimate choice. In the case of Miami,
still not as bad as not running beast mode in the Super Bowl.
I think that's in the top 3.
Okay, so that's top 3 right there.
I think it's in the top 3, 100%.
But I think in that one, you can still say really poor decision, but there was still a decision to be made.
Choice. Yes,
there was still a legitimate choice to be had.
Yes.
In my opinion, this one, there's no legitimate choice. It's A or A.
Yes,
like it's kneel the ball
or kneel the ball. Right, exactly.
And if you do want a good laugh, Shannon Sharp did an interview with Marshawn Lynch. They talk about that entire situation.
Yeah.
It's fucking hilarious to watch him talk about that shit now.
Oh, he's probably still pissed.
He seems to have let it go, but he's very matter-of-fact when he talks about it.
He should be, because he should have had the ball right there.
Yeah.
But again,
no doubt.
Bad decision, yes, but there was a legitimate decision to be made there.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Okay. You made the wrong choice.
Again,
but
coaches trying to be smarter than the average guy.
guy
Oh, we're going to outsmart everybody. They expect us to run beast mode here. We're going to drop back and have Russell Wilson throw the ball, which we all know how that turned out.
Yeah, Darius Butler was right there.
You outsmarted.
Yeah, it was Butler.
I think it was Butler, yeah.
Man, does he hate Russ? Hey, join the club, buddy.
I think everybody hates Russ.
That guy's such a fraud,
I don't hate him. I just am indifferent to him at this point. Like, I thought he was a good player for quite a bit of his career, and now I'm just like, I think you're done, man. Like, I think you're done.
Pete Carroll is a quarterback guru. That dude has gotten so much out of nothing as far as quarterbacks go in Seattle.
I think Russ was good. I think he hit a point and he was just done. And I think a lot of it has to do with his personal shit where he's a weirdo, man. He's a weirdo.
He's a strange guy.
He's a weirdo.
Yeah, he is a weirdo. I just don't like him because I think he's fake.
But okay, So I'm gonna say this though too, because we had a discussion at my house with the wrestlers and with people.
Oh, Seth Rollins.
Seth Rollins. Yes. Not about Seth Rollins though, but about Cody Rhodes and John Cena.
Yep.
I just have a theory, and you can tell me whether I'm right or not. My theory is that anybody who is genuinely like a good fucking person, you think is a cheese ball in their corner and they're not real.
That's not true. No, that's not true.
Borderline true.
No, I think do I think Cody Rhodes and John Cena are cheese balls? Absolutely, I do. But I don't think they're like bad people. Why would I think they're bad people?
No, you just think they're fake, and you don't like them because they're so nice.
I think they're cheese balls.
Okay.
I just think Russell Wilson's a fraud. I do.
Well, I don't disagree with that one either, but
yeah, like
he's
doing all the like,
Russell Wilson's a weirdo.
Doing all like the let's ride shit and doing all those exercises on the team plane and shit like that.
Yeah,
like, come on, dude.
He's a weirdo.
Like to me, that's like all right.
But that was my theory.
No.
If you think he's weird now, again, listen to that interview with Beast Mode. They go into all of that.
Well, I mean, I don't know if I'm gonna do that. I'm not much on. I don't know. I might.
It's a 2-hour interview. It's a long commitment.
I'm gonna go with no.
How about no?
Beast Mode talks about he wanted to make a connection. He wanted to make a connection with Russ and, kind of get a friendship sort of started.
Dude, he wanted Sierra, dude. Come on.
I mean, who?
So he calls one of the trainers. The trainer calls Russ. Russ calls Beast Mode from a blocked number because he doesn't want anybody on his team to have his phone number.
Okay.
You can't let that shit happen.
It sounds like Bo Callahan.
Yeah. So when you talk about
so did anybody go to his birthday party?
Probably not.
Sierra was there.
Yeah. She might have been the
Sam
only
Elliott
one.
would have been pissed if you asked that question, though.
All right. So with that being said, let's get into the rest of the NFL.
Let's get into NFL?
Weekend.
Let's do Niffle?
Yeah, let's do the NFL.
All right.
Obviously, we'll start off with the Lions. They did exactly what they were supposed to do. They played against a bad team, and they dominated them. That's what you're supposed to do.
There was really nothing. There was no point in time where you thought Detroit wasn't going to win that game.
No.
And I know, Frank, you have some select thoughts on this, so I'm going to let you go here in just a second because you have more to say than I think either one of us will. But I didn't really watch that game, which is why I'm going to say Frank can talk about it. But
I caught it like at halftime. I was on my way back from Ann Arbor.
I watched.
I forgot you were out in Ann Arbor. That's right.
I watched the red zone. So I see scoring plays, but I don't see full game. And I had it on. I had that game and another game on the smaller TV, but I had red zone on the bigger one. And I can't say I paid enough attention to the full game to know the aspect of what you're about to talk about, Frank. But just to me, on the outside looking in, it was a team that had this game locked up, didn't really fear losing this game at all, and played a really, really soft back-off defense, rushed for all the time, and didn't really care if they let up a couple points here or there because they knew they had this game. Like they knew they had the game.
They made 3 great defensive plays, and they were 3 takeaways. And then all of a sudden, they were just convinced they were winning this game no matter what they did, and they were playing almost a prevent style defense the entire game. They would give up the 6, the 7 yards rather than giving up, a long shot downfield. But they were keeping the ball in front of them, which in theory is smart football. But when you have a team that's that much worse than you are, no. That's a game that you set things up for future games. Practice these moves, practice your blitzes, set up schemes, do that kind of shit. Don't just coast through in the hopes that nobody gets hurt. I'm not going to say you embarrassed yourselves by letting up 24 points, but that's kind of embarrassing to let up 24 points to that bad of an offense. You made Adam Thielen look like he used to at Minnesota.
I mean, he did have a really good game.
Yeah.
Bryce Young didn't look too bad. But again, we talked about this a little bit, Frank. As I look at it as they were kind of playing prevent defense the entire game because they just didn't care to let up a couple points here and there. Because to me, it looked like they just knew they had it won. They came out, they kicked him in the teeth. And instantly, I feel like they just knew, all right, this game is ours, boys. Let's not. We don't have to do a whole lot here to win this game.
And again, with what I said last week, championship teams don't do that.
It's true. Jeremy just said, "Amen, Pastor Frank."
but you got looking at this from an outside point of view. When was the last time you could say this about a Detroit Lions team? That you're pissed in the way they won.
For me, never.
2014,
Maybe.
Like you're like
2011. I mean,
I was going to
it's
say 11 and 17 were the last time they started off like this.
Well, and 14 was a very good year for them. But I mean,
was.
I think there's only been a select few years where you could really say what you're
Right.
saying right now. I agree.
like you're pissed in the way that they won.
Yeah.
And I get it to a degree, but
Yeah.
it was a game that they knew they were going to win.
But see, I like those expectations though.
And no,
because-
this is why I'm saying this. This is why this is exactly why I'm saying
Right.
this. Is like it's good to have it to the point where you're mad at the way they won because
Right.
you have expectations of this.
right.
Yeah, it should have been better than it was.
As opposed to not having many expectations for the team.
As opposed to sweating every game out, every win out.
Yep.
You know, I mean, yeah, you looked at this game and yeah, did they give up more points than they should have? Probably.
yeah.
But you were never in danger of losing that game.
Never.
None. And that's such a change from like basically any Lions team we've ever seen.
Yes.
You know?
Well, and I will say that we had a conversation today at work because one of the guys that I work with, his stepdad reserved a room for them in Vegas
Oh, really?
in case Detroit goes to the Super Bowl.
I mean,
He already reserved a
That's
room.
fine. I mean, you
in
can,
Vegas.
you can probably cancel it like the week.
Well, what
before,
I
yeah.
said is, even if they don't, I mean, which
Just go
let's,
anyway.
Let's be honest. The Super Bowl's in Vegas.
Yeah,
If you reserve
right.
the room, fucking go.
Yeah, go anyway.
But
for sure.
I also I love the fact that Frank and Lions fans can have expectations about this team now, whereas before it was like sometimes it was expectations without reason.
and they were just happy to get the win.
Right, and it was just all right, or it was
Yeah.
the mental victory,
Right.
the moral victory. It
Right.
was like, oh well, we almost beat Kansas City, or we
Almost.
we
Yeah.
almost
Yeah.
did that.
Oh, if it wasn't for the refs,
Right.
So
Well,
having the
this-
expectations is great. I want people to reel it in a notch. Like literally, we're buying rooms in Vegas right now in case they make the Super Bowl. Like,
Well,
come on,
this
guys.
has changed
They're
my
4-1.
expectations. This has totally changed my expectations with the way they played this past weekend. If you are that good, if you are that team, looking at your schedule moving forward, 15-2. That's what I want. If you are that team, 15-2.
That ain't gonna happen.
not a chance. in
Look
hell
at their
that's gonna
strength
happen.
of schedule. They're 31st with strength of schedule moving forward. The only two real teams they play are Baltimore and Dallas.
I think they're going to lose this weekend.
Well, Dallas is not really a real team. We kind of found that out this last weekend.
Exactly. But those are the only two real teams that they play.
I think they're going to lose this weekend.
They very well may.
I'm not gonna lie to you.
But I'm telling you,
I said before the show, I have a feeling they're gonna lose this weekend.
if you are that team that can coast against bad teams, if you are that team that doesn't give a shit and they can give up those points against bad teams, fine, 15-2. That's my new expectation.
Jeremy said the Seahawks game still pisses him off, which it should.
Yeah, that should have been a win.
It should. They should be 5-0 right now.
Like this team, I'm trying not to get excited because they are playing good ball right now, but between where the fans are trying to put them and the way they're actually playing ball, it's two different things.
Yeah. Well, and listen, there's having expectations, and then there's having unrealistic expectations. Right. You know, it's like
that's why
it's like Michigan fan.
Yeah, exactly.
Playing casual football, playing lazy football, the fans hyping them up. Fine, guys, I'll buy in. If that's what we're doing, 15-2 is my expectation.
Well, I mean, you keep putting out Super Bowl, so
Exactly. 15-2, that'll get you a first round bye.
It will.
Yeah,
it's
if
almost
this team is what I'm being told, 15-2 is the expectation I have.
Okay,
now.
so what's the difference between what you're being told and what you actually see? Let's base it on what you think as a Lions fan watching this team. Are you just going off of
judgment? I can't make a fair judgment because last week they coasted. And
I mean,
if
it
they
kinda looked
didn't
like they did.
coast, they were embarrassing.
But
if
what
that
about
wasn't coasting.
but what about the game before that when they went into Lambeau and completely dominated the Packers?
In the first half, they kind of let up a little bit in the second half. But like I told Joe,
Can't say you're wrong there, actually, but
I think you were there at this point. Maybe not. The thing that bothers me is the taking the foot off the neck. Championship teams do not take the foot off the Tigers' neck. They just keep going. That's what Miami did. Miami put up 70 points against Denver.
That was personal.
That damn right that was personal.
that was personal.
There's no reason this past weekend they couldn't have put up 50 against Carolina. There's no reason. You were playing lazy football once you figured out you had that win locked up.
I mean, to me, that's what it seemed like, but I could be wrong.
So that's my Lions rant. It just pissed me off because you're not that good of a team.
Well, and as Jeremy says, amen, Pastor Frank.
Now, let's get into what I think is the best team in the NFL, the San Francisco 49ers.
Yes.
And the ass-kicking they put on the Dallas Cowboys.
They put on the Dallas Cowboys. They had no shot in that game, first of all.
That game was, from opening kickoff, that game was not competitive.
No.
And Micah Parsons, just stop talking.
And yeah.
Dude,
so listen, I love
talking.
I love him as a player, but you need to listen.
Just own it, man.
You got your asses handed to you. George Kittle wore a shirt that said "fuck Dallas,"
which is awesome, by the
way.
He might have become my favorite fucking NFL player.
That was awesome. A shout out. Somebody had done that in the past. I don't remember who it was. But
I loved it.
Well, he was talking about it on McAfee.
You're a 49er. You should always be saying "fuck the Cowboys." That's the rivalry there.
Yep.
It's always been.
Rivalry.
Yeah, exactly. That's the biggest. To me, that's the biggest rivalry in football.
That is Michigan, Ohio State.
Like that's
on a professional level.
That game used to mean so much more, and they used to always play in the playoffs.
That was the Super Bowl,
right? That was the Super Bowl. It was the NFC. Whoever won that game was probably going to win the Super Bowl back in the day, and that was it.
Yep.
I love the fact that this kind of ties back to the Lions. The 49ers ran the exact same fucking play to George Kittle that the Lions ran to Sam Laporta. It was the exact same fucking play.
Oh, yeah. They tried to say, though, that they ran that play last year before Detroit did, so that was actually their play.
Well, it was but I don't care whose it was. It was the exact same fucking play.
I was just laughing.
Identical.
Kittle was literally arguing with people over whether they did it first or Detroit did it first.
I watched that play and I'm like, oh, I just saw that earlier.
Jeremy says, by the time we play Dallas, I'm assuming he's referring to the Lions, Dak is going to have a breakdown.
Dak might have a breakdown before the next game.
Listen, I'll be honest with you. Talking about this game, the Cowboys need to look in another direction for a quarterback. I'm sorry, Dak is not your guy.
I think we set the over under at 2 picks, right?
It was 2.5,
and I think I know I took the over.
I took it exactly at 2.
I was going to say I think I agreed with you exactly.
I took it right on 2,
and he threw 3.
He did. He threw 3.
So he's got 4 or 5 this year.
I'd have to look at that.
He says he's not going to throw more than 10.
If ESPN is right,
he's throwing more than 10 picks this year.
Yes,
100%.
If ESPN is right, they can't move on from him. They'll never be able to trade him.
Oh, that contract.
He's got $61 million in dead cap space if they get rid of him. That's a third of your cap.
That's a spicy meatball right there. Jesus.
You can't get rid of him.
Oh, that's a spicy meatball.
We're married to that
spicy meatball.
Oh, Cesar Rollins.
Unless you think Trey Lance can do it, because you can always bench him.
Somebody say something about a bad back?
Well, that was funny. That was like talk going into that game. It's like, oh, Trey Lance, he's gonna help him, figure out what the Niners like to do.
Dude, Trey Lance didn't even know the playbook.
Yeah, come on.
Trey Lance didn't know how to play for the Niners, much less against the Niners.
But like I said, just hearing Micah Parsons talk after the game, we're on the same level. They're not that much better. Dude, they are that much better.
No, they are.
They I don't care if that game was played in Dallas or in San Francisco or Santa Clara or where the fuck they play. It doesn't matter.
So it got brought up today. Well, who in the NFC can the Lions not compete with? Who's better than them? I go, the Niners for sure.
Oh yeah,
are better than them.
The
Niners would stomp them,
and
the Niners will stomp most anybody right now the way they're playing.
And
it doesn't matter who you are.
I am starting to believe in Brock Purdy. I said that last week. I wanted to see how he did against this defense, and he balled out. He had a good game. He did. Okay.
So the theory of the guy's in a great spot is 100% true.
Oh, yeah,
nobody could ever deny that, and I will never deny that.
And the Shanahans know how to maximize potential.
That's do.
For damn sure.
They're great at play calling. The only thing I'll say about Brock Purdy is when he makes a throw, it's a dime.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't care how the play's drawn up. I don't care what happens. No matter what, he puts the ball exactly where it needs to be almost every single fucking time. I'm starting to look at this and go, man, the Niners did draft their franchise quarterback in that draft. Unfortunately, they gave up 3 first-round draft picks for the wrong one first. But then in the end of that draft, they got the real guy they should have got.
Right. But yeah, like I said, as we started this kind of segment, they are the best team in the NFL
by far.
The only team I think that can even remotely compete with them in the NFC. It's Philly. That's it.
Philly can. Philly has the same team they have, almost.
I don't think the Lions are quite to that level yet.
No, not yet.
But honestly, I think it's Philly. That's it.
The Lions are trending in that direction.
Right.
Well, let's see. But the two teams at the top of the game in the NFC are Philly and San Francisco. And Detroit is trending in the right direction. I would put Detroit just behind them right now.
I'd put them at the top of the second tier of teams, right?
Yeah. And I think we're in agreement on that one. But I think these two teams right here are built almost the same way. Offensive line, defensive line. And that's the way Detroit is building their team.
Mm-hmm.
But these two teams win in the trenches. Philly and San Francisco win in the trenches every game.
And Detroit's D-line is not there yet.
No, not yet.
It's getting there.
Not yet.
It's just not there
It could have
yet.
been if they didn't draft Gibbs and they drafted. Oh man, I tell you.
Oh, fuck. There was nuclear heat on that guy at that time, though, so I still don't.
I said all along it should have been the pick. All along.
I still don't hate them not taking him. His situation was so complicated at that point that I felt bad saying either way.
But not to back up to the Lions, but can we? Are we at the point where we're going to admit that Jameson Williams trade up was just a really bad decision?
I don't know. I'll let you know when the guy actually plays more than 2 games.
But imagine what they could have done with that pick. When we said it that night.
The dude, first of all, he alligator
Do you remember who I was sitting here screaming for the entire night?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I know.
I was drunk by that point.
I know.
I was screaming for Micah Parsons.
There you go.
Just fucking get Micah
No, that
Parsons.
was a different draft.
No, who was it? Who were you screaming for?
Micah Parsons was a different draft, wasn't it?
No, I thought that was the same draft.
I think it was the same draft.
Micah Parsons was the same draft as Trey Lance.
Because they got Penei Sewell.
Yeah, that Trey Lance. That was not.
Then who was their second first-round pick when they took? Because they took Sewell, and then they traded back up and could have got somebody else, I thought.
I don't know, man.
Do we have Stat Girl?
We need Stat Girl right now.
Stat Girl!
Shit.
But that
double check, because I could be getting the 2 years mixed up.
I'm going to look. I think you are. But at this point, that Jameson Williams pick, to me,
it didn't make any sense.
Well, it didn't make any sense, and now, did you hear what Dan Campbell said about him today? Did you hear that? Did you hear what he talked about him? He basically said, he's got a lot of room to improve. He needs to.
He hasn't played football in 2 years.
But he's still been able to practice, for Christ's sakes. And the kid is just not. Dan Campbell's not one to mince words. He's not one to fuck around, right? He's not gonna blow smoke. So when he doesn't come out and say good things about you, there's nothing good to say about you.
Right.
You're failing as a football player. Dan Campbell talks glowingly of Josh Reynolds.
Mm-hmm.
Dan Campbell talks glowingly of Sam Laporta. Dan Campbell talks glowingly of Jahmyr Gibbs, even though you haven't seen much of him. Dan Campbell does not talk glowingly of Jameson Williams at all. Never. He never says a really good word about him. He just says he needs to get better at catching the football, and he needs to get better hands. He's got a lot of room to improve. Like, he never says a good thing about him. He just says he needs to improve. Yeah, no shit, man.
I think he also needs to put on some weight.
He alligator-armed one over the middle. Complete fucking drop on that one. And then he had 2 catches for 2 yards. What? Wow, man!
So when he alligator armed it, were you watching the game at that point?
I saw that play. Yeah.
Did you hear what the announcers were talking about?
No.
They tried to justify him dropping that ball because he would have been killed had he caught it. Fucking linebacker was coming square at him. He would have lost his head had he caught that ball.
Make the catch.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Make the catch.
I found it funny that the announcers were trying to justify him not making the catch. And that's why I say he's got to put some weight on, because he is that small that a linebacker would have killed him had he caught that ball.
Well, you got to put in that work, man. If MCDC is saying you need to improve, maybe you need to improve, man. Like, flat out. But you know who doesn't need to improve?
Jason Stiltner from Flagstar Bank.
That's right. If you're a homeowner or looking to be a first-time home buyer, give Jason Stiltner, Senior Loan Officer at Flagstar Bank, a call today at 248-752-3631. Jason has great mortgage programs for first-time home buyers, including down payment assistance options and excellent interest rates. Again, give my guy Jason Stiltner from Flagstar Bank a call today at 248-752-3631 and get the excellent service you deserve. Flagstar Bank, equal housing lender, member FDIC, NMLS number 27546.
There you go.
Nice.
Penalty shot.
All right, so that was the draft where they drafted. So that was the draft where they drafted Hutchinson, then Jamison Williams, then Pascal, then Joseph. So that was not the Penei Sewell draft. That was not the Micah Parsons draft.
Okay.
But he was screaming for somebody.
They drafted Hutch.
Yeah.
I think you were screaming for Hamilton.
Yes.
yeah.
Kyle Hamilton.
Same as we were.
Yeah,
we were like,
Yep.
when they traded up, we were like, it's got to be Hamilton.
Yeah.
It's got to be.
I vaguely remember this now. Yes.
Yep.
But, yeah, man, I think Lions fans at this point need to kind of just all Lions fans. Let's put it this way: if he played for Chicago, would any Lions fan be going, guys, give him time? He's going to be a great player. No, you'd be like, the dude's a fucking bust.
And you know why every Lions fans like give him time? Because everything the Lions have done the last 2 years has been without him.
Well,
You're a good team without him.
But
If he
again,
doesn't work out, he doesn't work out.
he's
It
not-
was a stupid pick.
Right. He's not going to, at this point in time, I can flat out say without hesitation in
Bust.
my mind, he's a bust. He's not going to work out. This dude will not.
I think not playing football your first 2 years of your career makes you a bust all in itself.
Yeah.
Injury, we knew that was going to, or we knew he was
Right.
injured coming into
But he
the whole
played
thing.
7 games last year. Mm-hmm. He didn't miss
He
two full
played
years.
7 games last year?
He played 7 games last year.
Jesus.
You know how many catches he had?
Not 7.
I believe 1. So, I mean,
That's just embarrassing. Like, I didn't even notice he was out there for 7 games last year.
yeah, exactly.
That's the point.
That's
really
my
the point.
point. That's my point.
Yeah,
is
fuck.
he? I'm like, I just don't. You know how they say, football players, you got to have the dog in you. You know what I mean? You got to be a dog.
The guy works.
You know what I mean?
The guy's
Yeah.
that guy's a he's a gym rat. He's
Like
a football player. He's this, that, the other thing.
Like
whatever.
you got to
Yeah.
have that
Yeah.
mentality. Like I just don't think he has it, man. He relied on his speed and his athletic ability in college.
Everybody has that in the NFL.
That's the problem.
Everybody does.
That's the problem. And the guys who succeed in the NFL are the ones that have that edge to go further, to build further. They have that desire to just be the fucking best.
Like, see if you can fleece Miami. See if Miami will take
Yeah,
him.
he's fast. So Miami will take
yeah,
him.
they might.
Just trade for Chase Claypool for whatever because he's fast. Apparently. Okay.
Jeremy says 49ers are screwed when they have to renegotiate Purdy's contract.
Oh, they're not even screwed. They're fucked.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to tell you you're wrong.
That's not going to be pretty for them.
His living situation is him and his girlfriend are roommates with another guy because they can't afford to live where the stadium's at.
It's California. I'm not surprised.
Well, yeah, I was
That's
gonna
how
say.
small his contract is, though.
Well, yeah, he was the last guy in the draft.
He's living with his girlfriend and another person. He has to split rent 3 ways.
Yep.
I think he's driving a Toyota Corolla.
And he just might win the Super Bowl this year.
Yep.
Just might. Another game I want to hit on the debacle in London between the Bills and Jaguars.
Well, we hit it right.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
We called Jags winning.
Oh, absolutely. Like I was, because that game was on at the same time as the Arsenal game. I was watching it in Ann Arbor. Oddly enough, it was so funny. As soon as we walk into this bar, this guy sitting at the bar, huge Bills fan. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, like how random is that? Like
Yeah.
he's an Arsenal fan, he's a Bills fan. I'm like, all right, sweet. So we were watching the game together, and yelling at the TV, just how
Did you guys become best friends?
not quite. Maybe
Are you
next time we go there,
Are you guys going to do karate in the garage?
we might, we might. But just watching that
Favorite
debacle.
non-porn magazine to masturbate to. Good housekeeping.
So we're watching the game, and just I keep thinking to myself, I'm like, you drafted a tight end. Why are you not using him? Like didn't use him at all.
Yeah.
Like that just goes to another thing. Like if you're gonna draft like Kyle Pitts, like if you draft these guys, why are you not using them? I don't get it.
I don't get it.
I don't understand
So
it. Like,
to me, what beat Buffalo in that game, Chris, and you can tell me whether I'm wrong or not, because you probably watched more of it than I did.
yeah,
They have no running game still,
no, they don't.
and they don't even try.
No, they definitely didn't try. I mean, kind of by situation, they had to throw the ball, but
Not
before
really.
that-
Not really. They were in that game. It's
No,
like they
I
were never
know.
out of it. You
I'm talking
could have
la- I'm
ran
talking-
the ball.
I'm talking later in the game.
Okay.
Like late third quarter, fourth quarter.
But they could have ran the ball.
I
Like they just don't.
agree
and,
with you.
and they can't. I don't know why they can't.
don't
Like,
know
how the
either.
fuck can you not come up with the run
Your
game?
your line is better this year than it was last year.
It's just their run game is so
It's
bad.
so bad. And, like the defense for as many injuries as they had, and they lost their starting linebacker during the game. Like for as many injuries and whatnot as the defense had, they kept you in that game. Like they gave the offense every opportunity to win that game, and you didn't take advantage of it. And it was kind of ridiculous. Now I will say this: I wasn't a huge fan of this. Is I don't like how Jacksonville got to stay over there, and
It's the only reason I picked them winning that
that's
game.
one of the biggest reasons I picked them to win that game. To me, that's kind of an unfair advantage, personally.
Well, I wouldn't. So it's an advantage. I would say that if anything else, don't schedule the same team to play there 2 weeks in a row.
Right.
But I don't think you could have said, well, no, now you have to fly all the way back, because that's a disadvantage in itself right there.
Right.
Making a team fly there, then fly back, then fly there.
That
again.
I don't disagree with. But like you just said, don't
schedule the same team to play there
right.
twice.
And granted, did Buffalo leave a little bit later than they should have? I guess. I don't know how the science on that works, but I thought it was kind of a competitive advantage for Jacksonville to be already over there.
A little bit. But even with that being said, man,
Right.
the
got
Bills
better.
laid an egg.
They did. I agree with you. They absolutely did. And from what I was reading, that turf there was like playing on concrete. It was horrendous.
As good as we said the
and
Bills
I'm not surprised given the fucking piece of shit stadium they played it in.
As good as the Bills played the week before, this one was just equally as bad, honestly.
It really was.
It was a complete fall from grace. It was like, what the fuck? You are two complete different teams.
And don't get me wrong, I think they'll get right this week because they're playing the Giants. But
They're not a bad team. They're going to be better than what they were this week most weeks. But again, it goes back to the consistency issue that we talk about, not only with Josh Allen, but with certain teams. And it's like the Bills are one of those teams that, man, they come out and they look like world beaters one week, and then the next week it's almost like they're disinterested.
right, and you look at his stats; they weren't bad stats.
They weren't bad. He ended up padding him a little bit towards the end of the game
Right.
with that touchdown to Diggs.
Right.
But again,
I mean, 28 to 34 for 261 and a touch. I mean, the interception was kind of like a punt, so I'm not
right.
And I mean, a 108.5 passer rating. He didn't have a horrible game by any means. He played well enough to that game that should have been won.
Talking about Josh Allen, he was 27 of 40.
What am I looking at here? Oh, this might have been last week. I'm sorry.
I mean, but he still had a 102 rating. It wasn't like he was awful.
Right.
He had 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. He was 27 of 40. Trevor was just a little bit better, 25 of 37.
Right.
And Josh Allen had a 102 rating. Trevor had a 102.9. So it was like they were very similar. The difference is Etienne had 136 yards rushing and 2 touchdowns.
Yep.
Their leading rusher for Buffalo, Damian Harris, 3 carries, 13 yards.
Eesh. And then
The lack of run game is what's going to kill them. And it has.
The past few years. Absolutely, it has.
You cannot rely on Josh Allen to run the football all the time.
And then they just signed Josh Norman. Like, really? Why?
Yeah, why?
Why? Josh Norman? For
What?
real? Yeah, oh yeah. I'm like, okay. And now
That's
you look at
confusing.
it from what's going on in Denver. Apparently, they want to offload basically every player that they have.
That's fine.
Yeah,
Nobody
Yeah,
gives
I mean,
a shit about him
go chew up
anyways.
that carcass. Get some players off that team. I'm sure you can
That-
find a decent one.
There's a couple of good players on that team.
I agree with you.
They're just not around a bunch of other ones, so
Right,
they look very
exactly.
bad. But like Javonte Williams, I would take him as a running back on my team any day. He's still under a rookie contract. He hasn't played well enough in Denver to get a big enough contract coming out. You can still sign him to a second contract that isn't that big.
Right.
And to me, he's got all the skill in the world.
He's worth taking a gamble on.
Marvin Mims, wide receiver. The dude's he's leading the categories in receiving on Denver and plays like 25% of the snaps. Like there's a guy right there that I would take.
Yeah, it was not their greatest game, but you're right, Joe. They got to get some semblance of a running game. They have to, or else they're going to flame out again like they do every year.
Yeah.
And
They're not going to be able to compete with some of these other teams. One of the teams they have to try to compete with in the AFC is Miami.
they got back on track.
Miami is one of those teams that right now they're leading in every statistical category on offense. They're setting records. Like, they have a better offense than the greatest show on turf Kurt Warner's led
The Rams.
Rams. I mean,
but that defense is bad.
defense is not good. It's gotten better. It's gotten better, but it's not great. The only thing is that offense is going to outscore you 9 times out of 10. 9 times out of 10.
It's dangerous football to play, though.
It is.
It really is.
Well, so here's the thing: if Miami can get home field advantage in the playoffs,
I think it's key.
They can win the Super Bowl.
If they have to go to Cold Weather City.
Oh yeah, if they have to go to
They go
Buffalo,
cold weather there.
if they
Fuck.
have to
City.
go to Buffalo, if they have to go to Kansas City, then it's going to be trouble for them.
Mm-hmm.
They need to get home field advantage in the playoffs, and if they do, my pick of them going to the Super Bowl is going to come true, because as long as they can play at home and play in decent weather,
Yeah.
they can make it to the Super Bowl. No issues.
I still don't see them beating San Fran, though.
No, neither do I.
I said go to. I didn't say
Yeah.
win.
No, I'm just saying in general, I don't see them beating
No,
San Fran.
I'll be honest with you. I don't. With the way San Fran's playing right now, I don't see anybody beating
Yeah,
them.
it's going to be tough to see anybody beat
I don't
them
see
right now.
anybody beating them. Their defense is at a 10.
As
They're-
long as
they're-
they can stay healthy, obviously.
right. That
well,
health is an issue.
McCaffrey's going to get hurt. McCaffrey always gets hurt.
But that's the thing, though. They have, even if he does, they have weapons to back that up, and they'll be fine.
I mean, unless he suffers a season-ending injury, but I mean,
Which isn't out of the question for him.
Well, I can talk about I can talk about a team that isn't going to. They play in a cold weather city, but they're not going to be in the playoffs. Dude, the Patriots. Holy shit!
that's a back alley abortion.
Wow. At home, 34-0.
Yeah, they got housed.
To a not very good New Orleans Saints team. You let Derek Carr walk into your house and like body you 34-0.
Yeah, they got housed.
You let Derek Carr play like Derek Carr and still beat you.
34-0. That's embarrassing.
I just don't understand how they're still going with Mac Jones.
I mean,
Don't get it. Don't agree with it.
Bailey Zappi any better?
I was gonna say it's to me it's not that Mac Jones is good. He's not. But to me it's that whole offense and the play calling and everything like, again, if you don't set your players up to succeed, they're not going to. That whole offense is inept. They can't run the football, and by all accounts, Ramondre Stevenson is a very good running back. He can't run the football because the offensive line isn't blocking for him. The offensive line is not blocking for Mac Jones to have 1 second to throw the ball. Not saying if he had 2 more seconds, he'd make a better pass. I'm just saying they're not giving him any time either. So
And that's the thing.
Would they block for Zappy?
I don't think they're just not blocking because he's Mac Jones. I don't think they're going, hey, ole. I just think they're not good.
They're just the thing. Mac Jones, I don't think is mobile enough to get outside the pocket.
I mean, that might be the only area where Zappy has an advantage over him. He's a little more mobile, but I just don't see the team winning much. That team just sucks right now. They're all around fucking awful.
They're not very good.
They're bad.
And that brings me to another team that's kind of like, they're not bad. I'm not honestly sure what they are. Is Baltimore. Like, what are the Baltimore Ravens?
They're the Ravens.
I don't know. Like, we thought, all right, fine, you finally got Lamar some weapons.
Right.
You're gonna unleash him, let him throw the ball. And they're running the same offense they've ran for years. And you lost to Matt Canada and the Steelers. I know it's a rivalry game. I get it.
You didn't lose to Matt Canada.
You lost to the defense.
You lost to the defense. You know, I get it.
Matt Canada called the game-winning play and didn't actually call that play.
Right. But I was watching a little bit of that game, and I'm just like, what are you guys doing here? You finally signed him to a deal. Let him do his thing.
Well, and Lamar, he was throwing the football. I think Baltimore had 7 drops, I believe.
That doesn't help.
So he was 22 of 38, but I believe they counted 7 drops by the tight end or receivers in that game. Zay Flowers dropped 2. I believe Rashad Bateman dropped 1 in the back of the end zone. I believe, did OBJ drop 1? Is he 15 for them? Number 15 for them?
I think so.
He got hurt again, didn't he?
And he got hurt again, yep. I believe Mark Andrews dropped 2 footballs. One of them was in the end zone,
right?
Which would have been a touchdown. Jeremy says Lamar is overrated. I don't disagree with you there.
I very much agree with you.
But I can tell you right now that in this game, that receiving core completely let him down. You know how they say sometimes there's more to a game than just stats, right? Like, Lamar's stats were not great in that game. threw an interception, 22 of 38, 236 yards, 65.2 passer rating.
And he still played better than Pickett.
Right. Well, Pickett had 224 yards, a touchdown. His rating was better, 88.5. But, again, 7 drops. One of them was in the end zone. Like 7 drops from your receiving core, from your receiving staff, that's unheard of in a single game. They completely let him down in that game. Mm-hmm. And he didn't have enough in him to overcome it.
Another one, Kansas City, the Minnesota game. Like, I watched Kansas City.
That was boring.
It was a boring game until the end. I watched Kansas City, and I just say, I'm like, if they don't have Travis Kelce, they might be in some serious trouble.
Oh, I truly believe they are.
Holy shit!
Without him.
And then you got the controversy at the end of the game with the 2 penalties that may or may not should have been called. Whatever.
Well, the guy removed his helmet. It should have been called.
I agree with you. Yes.
The referee even told him,
"Put your helmet back on."
Put your helmet back on.
But
the guy put his helmet back.
But he shouldn't do that.
He shouldn't. He should throw the flag.
Yeah, throw the flag.
That's a penalty, man. And we've talked about it before on this show. We talked about it last year. I feel like Kansas City just gets special treatment from the refs sometimes.
They do.
And it's irritating to say that. Like, dude, don't tell the player to put his helmet back on. Throw your fucking flag. That's what it's there for. It's a penalty.
I feel like any other team,
they would have threw the flag.
That flag is getting thrown.
Done.
They get poster boy treatment.
They do. They absolutely do.
It's like the team is good enough. They don't need your guys' help, man.
They don't need help. Without Travis Kelce, though, that team is in trouble. And I'm going to go back to the Lions game. And I told you guys from the start, I'm not making excuses for that game. Players play and don't play. Teams win and don't win. It is what it is. Lions won that game. But that's a different game if Travis Kelce plays.
It is.
Detroit won by 1 point. If Travis Kelce plays in that game, I'm telling you right now, in my opinion, Detroit doesn't win that game. Travis Kelce means everything to Kansas City.
Do you rush him back for this week?
It depends on how bad it is, man. I mean,
They're saying lower ankle sprain.
But so lower ankle, so high ankle, you're probably out a few weeks. Low ankle.
Lower is what I heard.
So low, if it's a low ankle sprain, maybe. But being Travis Kelce, listen, you already have your mindset in the playoffs, right? I don't rush him back. No,
it's a Thursday game. You got Denver.
Yeah, I don't rush him back. I let him sit.
I would sit him personally. The Denver Broncos.
It's a short week. You don't want to bring him back on a short week.
I'd sit him 100%.
Let him get that extra rest. He can get 2 full weeks of rest before the next game.
Especially against the dumpster fire that is the Denver Broncos.
Right.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I mean the Denver Broncos are bad.
And they're doing exactly what I said they were going to do.
You're going to win that game before. You're going to win that game without Travis Kelce more than likely.
I would hope so. But if you don't.
But this team does need Travis Kelce, which to me says you need to sit him and let him rest that ankle and let him heal because you need him. You're not winning a Super Bowl. You're not competing in the playoffs if you do not have Travis Kelce. You're not.
This is a fact. This is absolutely a fact. And like I said, going back to Denver, like, dude, this is going down exactly how I thought it was going to go down. I said it before the season. It's like Sean Payton is going to burn this fucker to the ground. That's exactly what he's doing.
I don't think he's going to make it to burn it to the ground.
He is. They're not going to fire him after this year. Not a chance. They gave up too much to fucking get him.
They did. That's the problem.
That's true.
That's the problem. They gave up 177 yards to Breece Hall. I can't. Like, you give up, not to the team, to a guy.
Yeah.
You gave up 177 rushing yards, not to the whole team, to a dude.
And like
to one guy.
Not even a good dude. Just a dude.
Well, I think Breece Hall is a good
I'm not saying he's bad.
Right.
I'm just saying he's a dude. He's just not the dude.
He's not Jonathan Taylor yet.
Right.
He's not, Derrick Henry yet.
Right. No.
Breece Hall, by all accounts,
could he get to that level?
He could.
Absolutely.
And he's a very, very good running back.
He's solid.
But that was a revenge game for him.
That was a revenge game for the Jets, period.
Yeah. But that's where he
it was a Nathaniel Hackett revenge game.
Yeah.
God, imagine having
and Breece Hall, that was where he blew out his knee last year.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Yep.
I didn't know that.
Yep.
But just watching the game, another person that hates Russell Wilson is Sean Payton. Like, you see it basically every week now. They just get into it, and I understand it. I get it. Because
if anybody understands hating Russell Wilson, it's you.
You're fucking right on that one. But like I said, he's doing exactly what I thought they were going to do. He's burning that fucker to the ground, and he's going to start.
What's that contract look like?
Ooh, Sean Payton's or Russ's?
No, Russ's.
Oh, I can't imagine it's good.
I'm looking this up right now.
You know who is good though?
The Joe Wright Group.
That's right. Whether you're buying or selling your home, now is the time to take advantage of having the expertise of 4 real estate agents for the price of 1 on your side. Make the right move with the right group, the Joe Wright Group. Give Craig Joe Wright, Mike Bush, Shane Wilson, and Alex DeRocher a call today at 248-535-4750 to fulfill all of your real estate needs.
Yeah.
Yeah. I knew that was going to get. Yeah, and they can't all be winners, man.
Were you trying to start a car?
I don't know. I got this. Cesar Rollins. I got it in my head until it biffed me, man.
They are strapped to him at least through 25.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Again, that's not.
I mean, he's under contract till 28, but they can get out after 25. But yeah, if they cut him next year, it's $85 million in dead cap space.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Like,
that's so bad.
That's so
$85 million in dead cap space.
Unreal.
Oh wow!
I mean, we talk about like dumb decisions that head coaches make. What about dumb decisions that general managers make?
Elway.
Oh, that was a dumb one.
Wow.
That was Elway's doing, right?
I don't know. Was that? I don't know if that was Elway or not. I don't think it matters. Whoever did it.
Whoever did it was
fucking,
dumb.
Yeah, idiot. But
do we want to talk about the possibility of Chicago figuring out their offense?
Don't jinx it.
I said it as a question for a reason. I mean,
Don't jinx it. I have to roll with Justin Fields as my fantasy quarterback. Do not jinx it. I have to hope this guy is.
I think let's put it off maybe
until
next week. See how he does against the Vikings.
So I think we have to at least bring up DJ Moore, and the dude had
half a million yards,
230 yards, 3 touchdowns. Should have been a 4th because he didn't step out of bounds, and he should have had another 30 yards because he did not step out of bounds. It would have been another 30 yards and another touchdown.
But
like
Clifford Franklin out there
is Justin Fields? I think maybe just needs to only look at DJ Moore.
I guess.
Like, just only throw the football to DJ Moore.
The Bears need to invest in cloning technology and figure out how to get 3 DJ Moores out there and then just have Fields throw the ball up in the air and hope one of them gets it.
But you see it, like, when they actually let him do his thing.
I was going to say, as much as we want to talk shit about Justin Fields, and rightfully so, because we've been able to this year because he has not looked good, but we all 3 agree that at certain points, he was not set in a good position to succeed by that offense, the offensive coordinator, and coaching staff. When they kind of let him do his thing, and they kind of let him improvise a little bit,
he looks like this.
He looks pretty good.
Yeah,
I won't say really good or great, but he looks pretty good, and he throws some good footballs. Like, some of those were really good.
It actually looks like he knows what he's doing when they actually let him play his game,
right?
Instead of trying to pigeonhole him into something he's not.
A drop back quarterback?
He's not a pocket passer. He just isn't.
And I'll gladly say it now. Like, the kid's got talent. There's no way around that. He's got talent.
Can he utilize it correctly?
Right. That's the question now. Like, I was very much wrong on his abilities. He's got the ability. It's now putting the kid in a position to succeed, which is a head coach's #1 job.
It is. And I feel like since he's gotten to Chicago, there hasn't been a single head coach that put him in a position to succeed for an entire season. There just hasn't.
They've hardly strung together 3 games with him in a position to succeed.
I mean, it's but yeah, who knows? The last 2 games have looked pretty good for him, though.
And moving on to the Bengals, are they going to be all right? Are they going to be fine? I mean, I know they played Arizona. They kind of womped up on.
It was Arizona,
right? That's
I want to see more out of them,
right?
I never was on the. I think they're just going to be completely fucking dead, but it was not looking good for them. Like, they needed to right the ship real fucking quick, I'll tell you that.
Right.
And I feel like this might have been the start of that. And again, Joe Burrow went to his guy. I mean, 15 fucking catches for Jamar Chase. That's, again, it's like Justin Fields going to DJ Moore. Like, you got to go to your guy. If they're open, go to him. I mean, like, that's what they're there for.
I mean, they got the Seahawks this week, so I mean,
I think this is going to be a smash game for Cincy. I think they keep rolling in this one, but we'll get to that with the picks.
We will. Now, I want to switch sports if we can, because the NHL season is starting tonight. And if we lose some people because we're going to talk some NHL, so be it.
We're probably going to lose a few, but we'll
So be
come
it.
back for the picks when we're done talking NHL.
Yes.
Guys.
So I just want to get your guys' thoughts on the beginning of the season. You know, who's going to represent each conference in the Stanley Cup final. You know, MVP, Rookie of the Year, Vezina, etc. Frank, who do you got?
I mean, I'm going to take the easy out with the Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
Give me Bedard.
Put me down for that one, too.
Yeah. Like, I'm not trying to be a dick or anything to, like, Fantilli or somebody like that, but
I'm actually going to go with Fantilli.
Are you?
I am.
After he got corked the other night?
I think he's playing on a better team.
Which I agree with.
And he's not playing under Babcock.
Anymore.
So I'm actually going to go with Fantilli.
I wonder if he showed Babcock his phone or not.
I wouldn't doubt if he did.
I've never heard so many people so interested in one situation in hockey.
It was so weird.
I know. I didn't get it. Like, what did he want to see on the phone?
I don't understand it, dude. If you want to know about these guys, just go to their social media pages. There's plenty of pictures on there.
Or sit down and have a conversation with them.
Or sit down and have a conversation with them. Like, you don't need to see their phones, dude. Like, it didn't make any sense to me.
No.
But
it's Babs, and he's got some weird shit.
Yes.
He's like Russ. He's a weird guy.
But yes, I'm going to take Fantilli. You guys are taking Connor Bedard?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to go the easy way out on that one.
Yeah.
MVP. I mean, it's kind of like a Bedard thing. I get it.
Yeah, but I don't want to take the easy out and just say McDavid.
Okay.
I'm going to go with one that I think you're going to like, and I'm going to go with Matthews.
Okay. I'm going to go with Nathan McKinnon.
I like it.
I could see Nathan McKinnon winning this year. I could also see Draisaitl winning it this year, too. I'm going to go with Nathan McKinnon.
Okay.
I think that dude's going to have a monster year.
Joe?
I don't know. I'm ill prepared for the hockey talk.
We've lost Joe.
I'm ill prepared for the hockey talk.
We lost listeners and we lost Joe.
Ill prepared for the hockey talk.
I mean, you could take the easy out and just say McDavid.
No, I'm gonna go with one of my favorite players. It's a long shot, but Sebastian Aho.
Oh,
okay.
That is all right. That's thinking outside the box. I love it
For real.
Yeah,
I dig that.
So
I highly suggest you bet on that.
Yeah, man,
because those odds are
you
gonna
get
be
some
incredible.
great odds on that.
Well, it would also probably be such a long shot that I'd just be throwing my money away. So
sure.
Still, it's a guy who, again, like Chris said, outside the box.
I love it.
But he's got potential.
He does. And he just signed a new deal, so I love that. What do you got for Vezina?
The Vezina.
Yeah.
It's such a tricky situation right now because what's his name's out.
So
Vasilevsky.
Cross him off.
Cross him off then.
But he's always a real easy.
This guy here is dead.
He's always a real easy go-to.
Yes.
But going with Ullmark.
Really?
Yeah. Wow. Somebody in Boston's got to step up.
Yeah, because they have no centers.
Yeah.
Like at all.
And Swayman's still the 2, so give me Ullmark.
Okay. I don't hate it. It's a solid pick. I'm gonna go with dude in plays for the Islanders.
Igor
Shesterkin.
Yeah.
No, he plays for the
it's
Rangers. The other guy. Fucking his name escapes me right now.
I know what you're talking about. I'll look it up.
Yeah, but that's what I'm gonna go with. Islanders goalie. Rick DiPietro.
The guy who took over. Oh, Ilya Sorokin.
There you go, Sorokin. There you go. I couldn't remember his name.
Sorokin.
Like the name was like right on the tip of my tongue, and I just couldn't remember it. And Joe, who are you gonna go with? Actually, you know what? I'm gonna change that pick. Now I think about it, I'm gonna go with Jake Ottinger.
Okay.
In Dallas.
I'm gonna go with God. What is the? You guys just talked about the Rangers.
Oh,
goalies.
Shesterkin.
Yeah, Shesterkin.
Igor Shesterkin.
Yeah, that's my guy.
That's actually a solid pick because their defense is actually pretty good. So I could absolutely see him. And then they say him and Vasilevsky are like 1-2 generally, but
yeah,
those Russians, man, they put out some good fucking goalies, dude, for real.
That they do.
And last one, the Norris Trophy, best defenseman.
Cal McCarr.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say it's not him, but yeah, it's Cale Makar. That dude is that dude's all world, man. He just is.
Offensively, McDavid's one of the best players to ever play, but I think when you're talking all around player right now, Cale Makar is probably the best all around.
Yep.
All right, let's go. Who you taking out of the East?
Out of the East?
Yep.
I was really hoping you were going to start with the West.
Well, I know who you're taking out of the West.
I'm going to let you have this one. I'm going with your boys.
You going with the Leafs?
I'm going with the Leafs.
That's a bold pick, Frank.
That's why I was hoping you were going to start with the West. I was like, let's get the easy one out of the way before I get them a little excited, telling them I think his Leafs are going to actually take it.
I am picking the New Jersey Devils to come out of the East.
Okay.
I'm going to go with the Hurricanes.
Solid pick. I like it.
And my boy Sebastian Aho.
I was going to say, if I was going to win MVP, they're going to have to.
Sebastian Aho.
Yep.
You got coming out of the West. Vegas, obviously. Okay. Which?
Avalanche.
Okay. Man, coming out of the West. Jesus. I'm gonna go outside the box here. I'm gonna go the LA Kings.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I don't hate it.
I could absolutely see the LA coming out of the West. I think they're loaded down the middle. The only thing that's going to give them a hiccup is their goaltending, and I think they will address that at the trade deadline. But other than that team is damn good. So, and that's the thing. It's easy to pick the Oilers because obviously they have two of the best players in the game. It's their goaltending. It's still it's like Jack Campbell. One night he's fantastic, and one night he's fucking terrible.
Who do you have winning?
I'm gonna take the Devils to win the whole thing.
I'm going with the Hurricanes to win the whole thing.
Nice.
Give me the Leafs.
Wow.
I love it, Frank. I love your optimism.
All right, who do you have?
I'm not even trying to butter them up. I genuinely believe the Leafs will take it.
I was going to say, you're really trying to give it.
No.
I love it.
Butter that turkey.
I love it.
Who do you have winning the Conn Smythe with the Devils winning?
Jack Hughes.
Frank? With the Leafs winning, who do you have?
It's going to have to be, if the Leafs are going to win, it's going to have to be Matthews.
Yep. Sebastian Aho.
That's the only player Joe knows on that team. Sebastian
Might be the only player Joe knows at hockey.
No, not at all. But I'm a big fan of his, though. I just think he plays a great all-around game. I think he's very underrated.
So, any surprise teams
that make the playoffs?
Just a surprise in general, like a surprise good team, fringe playoff team that you didn't see coming.
I don't know about fringe, but I think
maybe they sneak in.
I think Ottawa and Buffalo both make it this year. Okay. I do.
Buffalo, I do like the Buffalo call.
Yeah, Ottawa's going to be a fucking problem this year. They are going to be a fucking problem. That team is good. That team is really good.
I just don't think they have enough experience to make a run.
And it's kind of the same thing I think with Buffalo is they don't have the experience to make a run. Those two teams are very, very similar right now. And there's the talk of like the three teams. It's Buffalo, Ottawa, and Detroit. I don't know what the Red Wings are. Like, what is the end game here?
I don't think they know what they are.
Yeah, and I think that's the problem. I think they have the makings of something going on.
It's like you signed a bunch of players, but what is the ultimate plan here?
I just saw it today. I didn't even realize they signed JT Compher.
Yeah.
Like, I love that signing. I don't understand the point of it, but I love it.
Right. That's a player you get if you're like contending.
Yeah.
You know, you pick up at like a deadline trade or something like that, or it's a depth guy.
He's a depth guy. He's a locker room guy.
Right.
He can still put up almost 20
goals.
But
I look at the Red Wings and I'm just kind of like, what the fuck are they doing here? It doesn't.
If they're going to do anything, it's going to be on the shoulders of Larkin and DeBrincat.
It is, and that's what happens though when you have a number 2 center as your number 1 center.
Right.
That's a problem. And don't get me wrong, I think DeBrincat's going to have a hell of a year. I really do.
I do too.
They got crazy good chemistry from what I saw in the preseason.
Yeah, him coming home and I get it. He's gonna. But again, Dylan Larkin, like, I get that he's your number 1 center. I get that he's your captain, but he's not a number 1 center. He just isn't.
No, I agree with you.
And then your goaltending situation, okay. I mean, it's not the worst goaltending situation in the world, but
no, you got 3 goaltenders right now. You got Lyon, who I like.
Right.
You've got fucking what's his name, Husso.
Right.
And then,
but that's the thing. If you have 3 goaltenders, you don't have 1.
Right. You have 3 goaltenders. You're going to need to move one at some point.
Yes, you will absolutely have to do that. So, but yeah, those are the 3 teams kind of in the East that are haven't been in the playoffs for a minute that have a shot to get there. I think Pittsburgh's going to be better this year too, picking up Barrett Carlson, even though the guy he's 100 years old.
Reimer's the other guy they got.
Oh Jesus, James Reimer, great.
So they got 2 goaltenders.
All right. So yeah, Pittsburgh's going to be better, especially with Carlson running that power play. That power play is going to be damn good too. But they're old. That's the problem. They're old.
Mm-hmm.
Like last year was the first time that Evgeny Malkin has ever played all 82 games, which is stunning to me. But Sid's up there. He's like 35. Letang
Sid's been doing it for 18 years.
Yeah, right. Like Chris Letang he's getting up there, and he's had 2 like major injuries.
Mm-hmm.
So
2 major injuries. He had a
stroke.
He had a stroke.
Yeah, right, a stroke. So they're going to be better.
Yeah, technically not an injury, but
well, yes.
That's why I said 2 injuries. He had a stroke.
So yeah, Pittsburgh's going to be better. I think Boston. I don't know what Boston's going to do, man.
It's not going to be a good year.
Even if Bergeron and Krejci came back, they still weren't going to be as good as they were last year.
No,
there was nowhere to go but down.
I think Krejci was only there for Bergeron.
Oh yeah,
I think that was the agreement. If Bergie was going to stay, they were going to sign Krejci.
I would agree with that.
As soon as Bergie left, I knew Krejci was gone too.
Right.
Obviously, love Marchand being a captain. Outside of it being my favorite player, I think it was a terrible choice. He's not a leader.
I told you who I thought it should have been.
I don't remember who you said.
Charlie McAvoy.
Oh, yeah. Which, another great choice.
Will McAvoy?
Yes, Will McAvoy.
Will McAvoy.
Love that show.
But goaltending's their one bright spot. And if the goaltending can be locked down like it was last year, they can make a little bit of noise as long as they can put points up.
As long as last year wasn't a fluke.
And it's possible that it was.
Right. And then you look at like a team like Washington. Like again, what is Washington going to be this year? You saw last year how much Erik Karlsson means to that team, or not Erik Karlsson, but John Carlson.
Yep.
They were ass when he went out. They were so bad, like so bad. But he's back this year. Again, that's another kind of older team though. Do they get back to the playoffs? The East is going to be it's going to be a race to get to the playoffs, man. It's going to be tough. And then in the West. I looked in the West.
It's wide open.
It really is. Dallas is going to be good. Basically, the Pacific Division is going to be a war, which is going to be great. Does Calgary get back? I think Calgary is going to make a run.
Calgary's got to do something.
They only missed by like a point last year, and if they had fired Darryl Sutter before the All-Star break, I think they would have made the playoffs last year.
Which is funny because he's not a bad coach.
He just
not. Wasn't working there anymore.
Because he grinds on fucking players.
He does.
And like what he said about that rookie,
isn't that sexual harassment?
I think so. Yes.
If you grind,
unless it was consensual.
If you grind on your players,
but when he basically humiliated that rookie after he scored his first goal, it was like, dude, like what? Like you don't always have to be the asshole,
There's a style of coaching that's going out of style now.
Yeah,
and that's his style of coaching.
Right. You don't always have to be the asshole.
It doesn't translate to the millennial generation.
It doesn't. But I mean, can Columbus kind of get back into the playoffs this year? They had so many injuries last year. Like Renski's coming back. You got Fantilli, Goudreau. I think Columbus is going to be decent this year. So I don't know.
The other team I like this year is Winnipeg.
Especially you re-signing Hellebuck and Scheifele. Yeah, they should be all right. But it's going to be an interesting season. I mean, obviously, a lot of the focus is going to be on Connor Bedard, and we have the game on right now. They're about to start here in a few minutes. I'm curious to see how he plays with the big boys. I mean, yeah, you can do this. You can do it in juniors. You can do it at the World Juniors, whatnot, and nobody can touch you.
Right.
But it's a little bit different here in the show.
And before we get off this topic, I just want to give a shout out to Barry Melrose.
Yeah, I saw that, man. That sucks, dude.
Thank him for his service to the game and wish him the best.
Parkinson's, man. That sucks.
Oy.
Yep.
Yeah, that's no good.
Might not have been my favorite guy all the time, but that's a real shitty situation to be in.
Yeah, it is.
And I appreciate everything you did for the game regardless.
No doubt. All right. Gonna hit the picks.
Let's do it.
This segment is brought to you by the Joe Wright Group.
Is Eric calling in?
It's time!
All right, let's start off with the college football slate. We're gonna...
Do you want me to give last week's?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I heard you didn't.
So, yeah. We won't have Eric on this week. He's not able to call in this week. So, unfortunately, we will miss that aspect of the show. Hopefully, we'll get him back on next week because he definitely adds a little bit to the picks and to the show. Yep. But take care of what you got to take care of, buddy, and I'll send you the picks later.
Do your thing.
Yes. So the picks this last week, the week before Chris went 6-10, right, which was not good, right?
No.
This week I said hold my beer, and I went 4-12.
You went straight Mario Cristobal this week.
I went straight up, just did not know shit. Yeah, it was bad. I got every single college football pick wrong. Every single college game.
You didn't bet any of them, did you?
No, hell no.
Oh, thank God.
For a reason, yeah. I went even in the NFL games,
Okay.
but Mike, listen, we all know college is not my wheelhouse, right? I went even in the NFL games, but even with college not being my wheelhouse, I mean,
you gotta hit at least one.
I exceeded expectations.
You should be able to bullshit your way to a decent record in college sports.
Yeah, it didn't happen. It didn't happen this week. Frank, you were second place at 7-9.
All right.
Technically third because we had two teams tied for first, or two guys tied for first. Eric and Chris both at 9-7.
I'll take it over 500 again.
Woo! So Eric went 5-3 in the college picks.
Attaboy.
The best college picker out of any of us.
Nicely done, Eric.
You went 5-3 in the NFL picks. You did the best in the NFL picks.
Yeah, baby.
So overall picks after last week, Frank, you are 16-16.
Just where I like to be.
Solid.
Mediocre.
very mid. It's very mid.
We keep the expectations right here.
Very mid. I am just below mid. I am not quite mid.
Joe, not so mid.
I am mid less. Less than mid.
Less than mid.
37, 40, and 3. Chris, you are 42, 35, and 3.
All right.
And Eric is leading the way at 45, 32, and 3.
All right.
So, Eric at this point is the better.
He's the lead dog right now.
He's the lead dog.
All right.
He's the one out in front showing us how it's fucking done.
I dig it.
So, I need to take note of that because I am the one that's in the rear. And I'm the caboose right now.
Right.
That's going. This is don't take any of my picks. Just don't go with anything I pick.
I got a little catching up to do to you guys still, so there's still time for me to shit the bed here.
Okay. I'm looking forward to it.
Trying to make you feel a little better about your situation.
I'm looking forward to it. I can't. Hopefully somebody else shits the bed other than me.
I mean, I hope I don't, but it's always possible.
I hope somebody else does because that was fucking awful this last week for me. So I need somebody to take the heat off of me.
All right, what do we got?
All right.
First up, we got Miami taking on North Carolina. North Carolina's laying 3.5. I guess I'll take this one. I think North Carolina drops a bomb on this team. I really do. Give me Carolina. After
you know
last
what?
week's debacle, like we talked about a little bit before the show.
Yeah, sorry. I remember how I told you I'm taking this more seriously. I'm doing a little bit of research in these games, which is why when you bring them up, I have to look at something. I have to scroll to see.
Yep.
So you know what? I'm actually going to roll with North Carolina as well, minus the 3.5. I think I talked about it earlier with you. I think he completely lost that team with that decision, and then what happened after that. Give me North Carolina to roll in this game.
Yeah, I'm sitting here trying to justify myself into taking Miami, but all the finger pointing and shit that happened last week, I got to take
It's not good.
seat. Yeah.
It's not good.
There's no leadership in that clubhouse right now, in my opinion.
No.
Next up, we got Kansas laying 3, taking on Oklahoma State.
All right. Let me see here. Kansas. What's Kansas giving up? 3.5?
No, 3.
3?
Yep.
Give me Kansas to win this game. I got them winning. I'll probably win by about a touchdown. Give me Kansas.
Give me Oak State.
Frank, I'm also rolling with the Fighting Gundies. Let's go.
Well, that just tells me I got that one wrong. If history repeats itself, that one was wrong, Joe.
Next up, we got Texas A&M taking on Tennessee. Tennessee's laying 3.5.
Trying to find the game. Here we go.
Same.
3:30 CBS game. Give me Tennessee.
Yep, I'm actually going to roll with Tennessee in this one as well.
Well, it's straight chalk for us because I'm also going with Tennessee.
All right. Is it too late to switch to A&M then?
You can switch to A&M if you want.
I take the opposite of whatever Joe takes.
That's a smart move at this point, sir.
I'm fucking around. I'll take Tennessee.
That's not. Yeah.
That's not the smart move, Frank.
Next up might be one of the games of the weekend. We got Oregon taking on Washington. Washington's laying 3.
Let's see. Oregon taking on Washington. Washington laying 3?
Yep.
Give me Washington in this game.
Give me the Ducks.
I gotta stop picking first so you can
That's right. The Ducks.
I'm gonna roll with the Ducks as well.
quack. And again, Joe gets it wrong.
Watch Joe go for a shutout this week.
Oh, he will. Absolutely. He's gonna have a hell of a week this week. Next up, we got USC taking on Notre Dame. Notre Dame's laying 2.5.
Not Notre Dame.
Dude, I am hammering. Notre Dame
Oh
in this
God,
game.
hold on.
Notre Dame got their shit
I gotta
pushed
find
in
this one,
last
folks.
week.
No, I'm hammering Notre Dame in this game.
Well, you hammer them for the both of us.
USC's
I don't have any faith in them
USC's
right now.
defense is atrocious. It's so bad.
Notre Dame
USC is a
0-2 against ranked opponents in night games this year.
So
And you're going against arguably the hardest one of those 3.
to me USC
Ohio
is a,
State's better than USC.
Yeah, I agree.
I said arguably.
Right. I think USC is a bit of a fraud, but I think Notre Dame is reeling right now. I'm actually going to take USC for the upset win here.
Frankie, are you gonna go with your boys?
I just said not Notre Dame.
Okay. USC it is. I'm on the island on this one. Okay.
I have no faith in that team right now.
I don't blame you. I really don't.
Honestly, the beginning of this show, had your boys not done what they did, the beginning of this show would have been me bitching about Notre Dame.
I mean, you still can.
There's still time,
There's still
Frank.
time, dude.
I totally forgot to do any research because I knew the college football time would be occupied by your feelings. So
yeah.
I didn't bother rewatching anything. I shut the game off and it just went to the back of my mind. And I said, this didn't happen.
All right.
And then I woke up and I was like, holy shit, what did Miami do?
This happened.
Oh,
I was like, I fully expected you guys to give me so much shit
Like,
about Notre Dame.
yeah, I
choking.
know Chris is upset right now. 'cause you were right. Chris was
And
upset.
I'm just sitting there watching going, now mind you, I don't get to see anything in slow motion or any of that. And first thing I told him, I go, his elbow's down.
Yep.
Like,
Yep. All right.
it was.
proceed.
Yes. Next up, we got UCLA taking on Oregon State. Oregon State's laying 3.5.
Let's see. Oh, sorry. I got to find this one here, guys.
Beavers versus Bruins.
Thanks, buddy.
Yeah.
Give me the Beavers.
Beavs.
Give me the Beavers.
It is a sweep. I am also taking Oregon State.
Oh, the Beavers are Oregon State?
Yes.
Never mind. Give it. No, I'm just kidding.
Next up, we got NC
I was gonna
State.
say, you didn't know UCLA was the Bruins?
Yes, I did.
NC State taking on Duke. Duke is laying 3.5. Apparently, Duke's good at football now.
Apparently they are, and I'm actually going to roll with Duke in this one.
I am too.
Make it a clean sweep.
As much as it pains me to take Duke in anything, but
I don't mind taking them in football. It's not like taking them in basketball.
it doesn't matter.
It's not like the
From
basketball.
watching them play Notre Dame, they're actually a decent team.
All right, and the final game on the college slate, Indiana taking on Michigan. Michigan's laying 33.5.
Yeah, give me Indiana. I know Michigan's.
I mean-
I know Michigan's covered the last 2 weeks,
Right.
But it was like 18 points and 19 points, 34.5 points. They're not covering this. No,
That's
give me
a lot.
Indiana.
That is a lot. I'm also taking Indiana.
Give me blue.
Oh, wow.
To cover 34.5, you're brave, buddy.
34 flat. 33 and a
34.
half.
Oh, okay.
Still.
Well, whatever.
Yeah, good for you, buddy.
Give me that 1 point back.
I'm looking over
I'm
here.
not saying they can cover 34 and a half.
Well, I'm
saying
looking
they
at it
can
over
cover-
here. Over here, it says 34.5, so that's what I was reading. But
All right, moving on to the NFL slate. We got Denver taking on KC. KC's laying 10.5.
Denver taking on KC. You say 10.5?
10.5.
Give me the Chiefs.
Even without Kelsey?
Yes.
Okay. You know what? I'm going to roll with KC as well. It's the Broncos are just an absolute dumpster fire.
Yeah.
They're so bad.
Well, that's why even if Kelsey doesn't play, I'm not worried about this one because the Broncos are so fucking bad.
If Mahomes didn't play, I would still probably pick Kansas City.
Fair. I mean, it wouldn't be at 10.5, but so
Yeah,
it's
I
so
may take
bad.
him at 10.5 without Mahomes.
all right. So you're going KC? I
Yes.
guess? Okay. Next up, we got Baltimore laying 4.5, taking on Tennessee.
All right, let's see. Hold on. Finding this game here.
I look at this. It's a weird spread,
It is a weird spread.
and I don't know.
Baltimore traveling to Tennessee.
Yeah.
Oh no, but it's what's in London, isn't it?
Yes.
It is in London.
It is in London.
Oh,
That
right.
makes sense.
Tottenham.
That's why this spread is what it is.
Again, I'm not surprised that turf sucks. It's a piece of shit stadium. Fuck them. It literally, if you look at it from overhead, it literally looks like a toilet bowl. I see. Look it up. Look up Tottenham Hotspur Stadium aerial. It looks like it looks like a toilet bowl.
Give me the Ravens in this one to cover.
Joe, I'm with you on this one. I'm going Baltimore as well.
Give me Tennessee.
Alrighty.
Oh, yeah, it does look like a toilet bowl.
Oh, really? Does.
like a toilet bowl.
Oh, Cesar Rollins taking a shit.
I wasn't going to look it up, and I was like, nah, just humor him. And I was like, holy shit, he's right. It looks just like a toilet bowl.
Shit stadium for a shit club.
Oh, looks like a toilet bowl.
Next up, we got the Niners laying 5.5, taking on your Browns.
Yeah.
Is Deshaun even playing?
He didn't practice the last 2 days from what I saw.
I'll be honest with you. I don't give a fuck whether he plays or not. I'm over it. I really am. Give me the 49ers in this game. They're gonna kill him.
I'm going with the Niners as well.
Me too.
All right. Yeah, I saw that with. At first, he was hurt and he wouldn't come in and play, and now he might be hurt. Who knows?
He was cleared to play before.
Yeah. And, we said it that podcast we did.
Yeah,
that happened. I'm sure that went over real well. In that locker room.
Well, and Myles Garrett is dealing with an injury as well, and I mean Nick Chubb's already out with an injury for the season. I mean, what?
Right.
The Niners are going to crush them.
Nick Chubb is like basically an inch away from getting his leg amputated. And probably still would play.
Right.
I think, yeah, if he could, he would. If they would let it, yeah, he would. But Deshaun Watson.
Deshaun's like, I got a bruise.
So yeah,
in my shoulder.
It's
I know I throw with this one, but it's bruised over here.
So it's purple, and it's got a little yellow hint to it. I can't play, Coach. Sorry.
He needs a masseuse.
That's seriously. That's possibly going to go down as the worst transaction in NFL history.
It should go down as one of them. And listen,
I don't know. That Russ deal's looking really bad.
That Russ deal's really bad.
I don't disagree with you.
That Russ deal's worse than this one, but I can tell you,
pretty bad.
But I can tell you right now, and you guys can admit to this. Who was all over saying this was a bad fucking idea from the start?
Oh, you 100%. Absolutely.
From the fucking start.
I just laughed at it because I was in agreement with you. I'm like, this is a terrible thing.
Everyone that was a Browns fan was celebrating it. I'm like, this is dumb. This is fucking dumb.
And I understood the celebration because before he went out, he was actually a really talented player. He wasn't that talented, but he was very talented. But you've seen you can't go out of the league for a year or two and come back in and expect to still be the same player you were when you left.
And even if you do, you can't pay a quarterback that much money and win. You just can't.
Oh, I agree with you.
It's the only team that's done it so far is Kansas City.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
It's tough to do. Anyways, next up, Indiana taking on Jacksonville or Indianapolis.
Indianapolis.
Indianapolis taking on Jacksonville. Jacksonville's laying 4.
Give me the Fighting Gardner Minshew's.
You know what, Frank? I'm going to roll with Indy as well. I don't know if Richardson's playing. I'm sure he's out probably.
No,
again.
he's going to be out for.
All right, yeah. Give me the Minshews for sure.
I'm rolling with Jacksonville in this one.
Okay. All right, Jacksonville it is for Joe. Next
It's
up,
not bad though. You get tickets for $30 right now for that game.
I'm not surprised about that.
You go hang out in the hot tub for $30. Fucking deal.
Next up, we got the Eagles laying 7, taking on the Jets. You know
what?
Go.
Oh, sorry.
Go
No,
ahead, hit it.
I would say let me take Philly in this one.
Okay. I'm actually gonna roll with the Jets in this one.
Yeah, 7's kind of a funny spread.
The Jets still got a good defense, and I don't Philly. There's still something weird going on with the Eagles.
There is.
They look slow.
They just look off. I'm looking at this game as being one where it's just a hunch. I'm going to look at this one as them getting things right. I think they're going to be able to contain that run game of the Jets, which will put it all on Zach Wilson's shoulders. Mm-hmm. If they can contain that run game, then you win, right? You have to stop Breece Hall. That's what you have to do. And I think Philly has the team and the defense to do that.
Yeah.
And I think once you put the ball in Zach Wilson's hands, you get up quick. And that's what I'm relying on this one.
Give me Philly. Joe convinced me.
All right, I'm on the island on this one. Cool.
Until we find out what Eric's pick is.
Hey, Alicia, roast beef.
What?
And she says hi. She says hi, boys.
Hi.
All right.
It's,
What's up, Alicia?
Yeah, that's just it's a joke.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll explain it after the show.
Okay.
I was like, Joe's thinking about Arby's right now.
I mean, now that sounds amazing right now. I'm not gonna lie. It does. It sounds delicious. Like a French dip. Sounds amazing.
A little horsey sauce.
Some au jus. Sounds great. All right. So next up, we got the Giants taking on the Bills. The Bills are laying 14.
Giants, Bills laying 14.
Yep.
The Bills need it, man.
Yeah.
And they need to win by at least 14. They need a good game. So I'm going with the Bills.
Well, we got a break from the Giants in prime time, week 5, but here we are back again with another Giants game.
Right.
In this debacle. Like I don't even know what to say about this. Give me the Bills to just fucking crush the Giants.
I'm going with the Giants. That's a big ass spread, man.
14 is a big
That's
spread,
a lot.
but
Yeah.
this could be a 30-point game, and I wouldn't be surprised.
Hold on. Oh shit, no.
What?
I thought the game was in New Jersey. It's
No.
in Buffalo. Yeah,
It's in Buffalo.
Bills. Holy shit. I looked at it wrong. I thought the game was in New Jersey.
Yeah.
Not New York. God, that shit irritates the hell out of me. Oh, the New York Giants. The New York's team. No, they're not. They play in fucking New Jersey.
New
I
Jersey.
hate that shit. Well, it's like, the Pistons played in Auburn Hills. Yeah, but they still played in the state of fucking Michigan. You know?
Chris, do we need to have a therapy session here? Buddy?
It just bothers me. Like they're called like the New York Giants and New York Jets. Yet you play in a different fucking state. I don't know.
And what
Little grind my gears thing. Sorry.
What bothers you about this, Chris? Come on, let's talk.
I just told you what bothers me.
I know, but
about
what
it.
else bothers you about it?
That's what bothers me about
Just the one thing?
it. Yeah,
And you get this angry over the one thing?
because it's dumb. Say
Okay.
you're the New Jersey Giants or the New Jersey Jets, because that's what fucking state you play in.
Okay.
You can't let that shit happen. They should have been called the Auburn Hills Pistons, because that's where you fucking played.
Shut up. I hate you.
Anyway. Fair enough.
Sorry.
I think the funniest part of that entire sequence was Joe hitting his eye on the microphone.
That happens. Next up, we got Dallas laying 2, taking on the Chargers.
All right, Dallas. Let me find this game, folks. Hold on. Looking for the game.
Give me the Cowboys.
Yeah, I'm going to roll with the Cowboys in this one as well. I think this is a bounce-back game for them, and Brandon Staley will do something fucking stupid to blow this, so give me the Cowboys.
Give me the Chargers.
Ooh. All right, Joe's taking the Chargers.
I'm taking a revenge game for Kellen Moore.
Okay. Which, again,
Okay.
in my opinion, Brandon Staley will inevitably fuck it up.
Yeah, he might. He might. I hate that dude.
All right, in the final game on the slate, the Lions taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Lions are laying 3.
Nice tip.
Nice what?
I said nice tip.
Sure.
That's being pulled.
Watching the hockey game, Joe.
That's definitely being pulled out of the audio.
I like it. Chris agrees.
For the context, can we please go to the screen?
Yeah, Jeremy says Eckler returns, and I think that is a big factor. Jeremy, I agree with that. In that last game we talked about.
Yeah.
Is she flashing is that the light flashing telling us we only have a certain amount of time left?
No, we also asked her to turn it on. So
They're gonna cut us off.
Yeah. Is that the cut it light?
Yeah. Moving along. Yeah.
All right. So Buccaneers, Lions.
Yeah.
Bucks are getting 3. Lions giving up 3.
Yes.
Give me Tampa Bay in the upset win.
Joe, I'm with you as well. I'm also taking Tampa Bay.
Bitch, please. Lions by 1 million.
Lions by 1 million. All right. And those are the picks.
Those are the picks. All right. Anything else, fellas?
Nope.
Fellers?
Nope.
All right. Give us a like and share and follow on our social media like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, and YouTube. And I forgot to do a read, so I'm going to go back and do that in just a second.
Nice.
We all know planning an event such as a wedding, birthday party, graduation party, or any other event that might require a DJ can be very hairy. Eliminate the stress and give Steve Waddell at Bald Man Entertainment a call today at 586-747-5402. He is the resident DJ for St. Hubert's Festival every year. If he is good enough for God, then he is obviously good enough for you. Again, that's Bald Man Entertainment, 586-747-5402. The best decision you can make for a smooth event.
Nicely done.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Now back to the closing of the show. Give us a like, a share, and a follow on our social media like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, and YouTube. You can find all of our podcasts on your favorite podcast provider. Again, check out SOTDET.com. There you can find our show picks and some fantasy football advice and some blogs. And while you're there, check out Shop. You can buy a Red Hooded sweatshirt.
Yes.
Frank, you're not going to do the
Red Hooded sweatshirt.
Thank you. Again, that's SOTDET.com. On behalf of...
Red Hooded sweatshirt. Seth Rollins.
Seth Rollins. On behalf of Chris... Frank, and Seth Rollins.
I got nothing, man.
I'm Joe. We are Sports on Tap Detroit. See you next Tuesday.
Oh,
And that is it for us today.
No! God, please, no!
Bye. Have a great time.
No! God!
Bye, guys.
No!
Bye, buddy.
No!
Goodbye.
No!
Goodbye.
No!
It's never goodbye.
You know, we've been through our ups and been through our downs.
And you were meant to be here tonight.
You guys will always be in my heart.
Great moments are born from great opportunity.
I think the most important part is that we all stay together throughout.
Don't give up. Don't ever give up.
Live. Fight like hell. The best thing I have ever done, the best thing I will ever do, is be a dad.
God, I love you guys. Mamba out.